correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com.
Welcome to Me and Steve Talk RPG, the podcast where me and my friend Steve...
We're playing games this time.
Before we begin, I want to take a moment to acknowledge something important. The setting of this campaign, Origin, is inspired by West African cultures, histories, and aesthetics. None of the players, and certainly not myself, have lived experience or even ancestry from that part of the world. While Origin is part of the canonical setting for Exalted, I've drawn on real-world West African traditions to help bring the setting more fully to life. This isn't meant to be an accurate historical or cultural portrayal, and it is definitely not a commentary on any real-world nations, peoples, or beliefs. One key difference is theological. While Timbuktu and the surrounding regions were deeply shaped by the arrival of Islam, Exalted has its own divine and mythological structure that plays out very differently. My hope is to approach these inspirations with respect and care, and I welcome feedback if I fall short. In the session notes, there will be a short list of resources to learn about the real history of West Africa and the Sahel. Thank you. All right. I guess we can start playing then. What you think so far?
No, this feels cool. I mean, like, it honestly feels like at several points we'd have been much better off to have Nim and or Parviz around, but such as...
Yeah, like not having Finn do the negotiating. Or the public relations.
Yeah.
At the same point, your soldieriness worked in the context anyway.
Mm.
Yeah, everything feels like... It feels like some things are starting to come together, which is always fun.
Yep.
Deck, I gotta tell you, you gotta change that Roll20 profile pic, man. You look creepy as hell in that picture.
I mean, true, I guess.
He was such a quiet man. He never bothered anyone.
That's a damn lie.
For that picture, I could just see that.
I never bother anyone, woman. We got everybody back?
I believe so.
So, we're ready to go again?
I am.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So yeah. Steve, I would actually like you to roll. You've got an awareness charm, right?
I just picked one up. It is Sensory Acuity Prana.
Ooh. Let me see. What does that do for me?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have that too. I don't normally know terribly what to do with it.
I mean, it gives you double 9s on awareness for a scene at the cost of 5 motes.
I honestly got it more as a because it's a prereq for something I want to pick up.
Yeah. So, I would actually like you to roll a perception and awareness. Perception. Yeah, perception awareness.
Okay.
You can spend as much as you need to, and you can spend up to 9 motes to buy additional dice for the excellency, and you subconsciously kicked in sensory acuity prana, so you will be rolling 9.
Okay, hang on. So I take off the 5 personal because I activate the 6, right? Okay.
Or peripheral, whichever. Yeah, no personal, because you don't want to light up in the middle.
Right. All right, so perception awareness, I'm guessing no bonuses because this feels like more of a passive thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do I take the double? I change it to double 9s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And any automatics?
No.
Wow. Not a good roll, but
That is definitely not a good roll.
only 3. I didn't add any, but that's a pool of 9, just stat plus skill.
Right?
Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 7, 8, 8.
So, one morning, you will wake up to a very interesting sight.
Mm-hmm.
There is a dagger driven into the wall. And it's not just an ordinary dagger.
Mm-hmm.
No. It's dull iron that looks and feels kind of oily to the touch.
Mm-hmm.
It's also driven up to its hilt into the wall. Now, these are baked mud brick walls. Driving a dagger into them cleanly is not something that anybody you've ever heard of could do.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy. Obviously, it was driven in with supernatural power. And it is pinning a piece of parchment to the wall
Mm-hmm.
that has in very spidery handwriting, "Leave my pet alone." And it is signed, "The veil that hunts the sun." Sorry, "Leave my pet spider alone." And it's signed, "The veil that hunts the sun."
Sorry, I'm writing things here. Hang on. Okay. The veil that hunts the sun strangely rings familiar to Steve the player. And being as I've not really read the books, that must mean it has some context within the game that I'm not remembering.
The veil that hunts the sun is the name of that abyssal that you fought outside the tomb.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, so I feel like, yeah, at this point, I'm going to round up, both of the other characters that are here, be it as we're getting breakfast, whatever. I have something I need to show you. Because, gesturing at Saelen, because, well, it seems this has something to do with that thing from the other day, and, well, Fen, I just want to know if you think you could do something.
Nope.
And I will take them and show them the dagger and note. Because I think Finn is the strongest person I know. Mm-hmm. And I will relay to Saelen, although I'm sure at this point we've told the story of going to the tomb, but, Jarek has been called the Spider. We fought this abyssal. We have the rock.
Mm-hmm.
This is connecting.
Yes, it connects on several levels.
I'm sorry, I did not understand whoever said what.
I said yes, it connects on several levels.
Okay.
And just gonna kind of look at it and go, I guess we're not the first ones to have the brilliant idea to set up shop here. So, what do you think this veil is hunting here? I guess, aside from the sun.
Well, clearly, they either overtly or conveniently, they're either overtly working for someone in Gem, or are using Jarek, who we know is to be an agent of Gem, in whatever plot they have. Find it curious, though, what purpose, I know little of the workings of the spirits and the gods, but we simply seek to to bring back the traditions of the city and liberate it from oppressors, and whatever this is appears to be interested in reinforcing it, and also, for whatever reason, waylaid us after we exited that tomb a month or so back now.
Well, I remember it was asking about something, so whatever this veil is, they're certainly looking for something.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a hearthstone, a piece of a manse.
Well, that now,
What?
Saelen had agreed to keep that. So is that still as she's left it?
I will double check.
It is where it belongs.
Okay, so technically it belongs in a manse.
No, it's right for you.
Okay.
I was gonna say that's a very ominous response.
I know, right? Like, wait a minute. Did it get lifted? You know. You said that there is a black oily substance on the blade.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see if it is poison or?
Yeah, it's not poisonous. It just seems to be. It just makes your skin crawl. It's creepy.
Almost that like old machine oiliness.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just been oiled so many times it's like impregnated into the metal itself.
Mm-hmm.
And Fen, are you capable of such things? I mean, it would seem to me one would have to have not only incredible strength but precision so that the blade did not snap.
Well, what's more intriguing is that this person did this without alerting you. That's no mere feat of strength.
I did go out drinking last night, but I didn't think I was sleeping that well. But yes, that also disturbs me, but at the same point, clearly they're wanting to play games much as I am, because if they were that mad about it, they clearly could have taken me out.
Well, we did put up quite a fight outside the tomb. Maybe they've decided to go about things a different way.
It is possible.
Maybe they just don't want a few divine beings fighting in the middle of their project.
Well, what do we as Solars know of Abyssals? I mean, are they the evil boogeymen? You know, like the dark version of us?
You have heard rumors that do make them sound like the evil version of you, yes.
Okay. But this would be we've encountered this entity before, so yeah, it just feels, unless they're wanting to match wits as opposed to force.
Well, it does seem they've tipped their hand, though. At least we know that this person's of importance to them.
Indeed.
True.
So whatever they're doing must be important. So I guess at least we have somebody that can figure it out. Just gotta look over at Cyclone.
Oh, I don't know about figuring things out, but clearly there's connections here. I mean, I feel like at this point, I need to observe Jarek more. Just to see what he's doing, not interfering with him, just observe.
I mean, I don't think that that's going to hurt anything.
Oh, by the way, the vendor swung by Gem's embassy.
I'm sorry, what?
The vendor that you had your bird follow, she did swing by Gem.
Ah, haha, okay.
You know, an interesting point. Just says our companion Parviz was from here, and he had a tomb here. Maybe this veil also has history in this place. It might be worth looking into the history or the local legends.
Indeed. I wonder, when we first arrived in the city, we visited Little Bat's aunt, if I do believe, who was a librarian, and is where we learned of the tomb and such things. I wonder perhaps if we should visit her again.
Well, the other thing you do know is that Death Knights, Abyssals, only started. People were hearing of them a couple of years ago. They appear to be a new created.
Mm-hmm.
But this also might have the maybe another thing to look for is also, since it seems that there was a time of wonder here, or wonders, maybe some of those other items have been left behind as well. I got to thinking there was, there were many gods of legend that wielded great weapons, and we may be in need of some of those.
Indeed. Well, I think at this point, we must seek more knowledge. These phenomena of the Knights are fairly new. I don't know if the librarian is maybe not the right place to start. Feel like it's a worthy conversation to have, though, although I'm also wondering if I know Makala traded heavily in information, if there might be some shadowy person studying these shadowy things in the city, might make contact that way. I could go see them as well. But I feel we need knowledge at this point, and I have many skills, but knowledge of lore and the spirits is not my forte.
Well, I think the library is certainly at least a place to start.
Well, this wasn't actually the library. It was an old, if I understand, former librarian, bookseller.
Yeah, the
lady.
bookseller. Well, she might still be a good resource. And this just all seems so interesting, and so many things seem to be suddenly moving. Do you remember the fruit seller?
Yes, the one who was snooping at the gate.
Yes. So just because you took an interest in her, and she seemed to be so keen on chatting with the men of the company, I had Halvor follow her.
Mm-hmm.
And she went from selling fruit to visiting the embassy of Gem.
Well, that answers that question. I assumed she was working for someone. We at least know what side she's working for.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how long this goes before it becomes overt. I would much prefer to stay in the shadows.
So are you going to... Where are you guys going to contact? Kala or the bookseller?
I would be happy to go to the bookseller.
Okay, so the book... Well, you have the advantage that you don't have to play a game with messengers and whatnot to set an appointment with the bookseller.
Yeah.
So you can send the message to Makala, and then the bookseller.
Yeah, I feel like we may as well explore both avenues, but yeah, one is no special appointment particularly necessary.
Mm-hmm. So, as you guys are headed to Sangare Kumba, and perhaps taking Little Bat with you, perhaps.
I feel like that was really not subtle, that we should be taking Little Bat with us.
Well, he might be able to give you some cultural context.
Yeah, I mean, well, and I've been trying to bring him in as kind of a information/consultant for my Underdark enterprises.
Yeah.
Like more as just, hey, this guy has a lot of this, that type of stuff. Like I'm I don't
Right.
want him directly involved in the thieving, but I'm using it as a connection and information source. Or that was my plan, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
So as you guys are going, there's I guess, one of the street singers, historians, all that sort of. They can be rabble rousers, they can be bards, they can be, with a musical instrument or without. And as you guys are going, you hear one singing a song, and forgive my poetic performance, but they say the gem glitters, the gem blinds the eye. The coin rolls smooth through our hands, not theirs. In Origin's courts and Gem's gold-lit halls, the lords toast together behind painted walls. They fatten their bellies while daughters are sold, trade babies for bullion and silver for gold. A chain is a chain, no matter who buys. The master wears silk, but the shackles still shine. Don't tell me the tyrant's name is new, only that the hands, now reaching for you, are softer and smiling and speak like your own. The cage is local, the lock is homegrown. And the crowd sort of murmurs and like, yeah, that's there's also an edge of kind of like the next best thing to sedition. And then a young man in the indigo of the noble class steps out and begins singing a response. And he says, "It's true some shear too close to the skin, and bleed the flock for their families' win. But don't paint every hand with... Some hold the staff, not the knife instead. The shepherd stands so wolves stay back. He watches the dark, he walks the track. You mock us for coin, but what would you do if trade fell silent in wardrobe? I'd rather break bread than break my word. Judge me when age has had its shield, while I can still say." And they get some they get some positive response. Then the Gesere comes back. "Good words, young one, polished, bright, like a copper ring kissed by morning light, but bright fades fast when the coins are flung, and the mouth tastes metal before the tongue. You speak of shields, may yours hold strong, but I've seen too many sold for song. When the wolves wear livery and title too, will you still claim the flock knows you? Grow older, boy, grow wise, not gray. When the assembly listens, it's often too late. But I'll sing your verse in the square someday, when you learn what a shepherd costs to stay." And then and the crowd is like, "Damn, she told you." And he bows and tosses a small bag, like the wealthy use to carry gold dust, at her feet, and says, well sung," and sort of backs out. And you hear the crowd saying, "Well, that was gracefully done." He just got punked by a folk singer, but at least he wasn't an ass about it. And so as you continue on, unless you decide to follow up with anything that happened, you'll get to Kumbara Sanga's shop in pretty short order.
Only thing I would is it common for nobles to wear some sort of house insignia? Like, I would have liked to, if that's a reasonable possibility, get an idea of what house this noble that was sparring with the minstrel was from, but if that's not a thing, that's fine too.
It's not really a thing, but you can hear from the crowd that he's one of the Mazun Adanri. And he's... They say that though he's young, he has a seat in the assembly. His family has fallen on hard times. Usually there would be a father or a grandfather to sit in the assembly, but he's doing it.
Okay. I just, like I said, I kind of want to follow up on where his house seems to sit in the gem, our little conflict here, the wedge we're trying to use.
Right.
But that's, filed for later use, so to speak.
Okay. In Kumbara Sangai's shop, Sangai Kumba's shop, is of course her lion, Koru the Bloodied, is just he's just kind of like chilling on the floor, just as she looks up, she starts to make tea, and she asks, what brings you all to her shop?
So, Cyclone will do appropriate greeting bows, or, we have returned, you seem to possess much knowledge and know where to find perhaps even more. We find ourselves, and I will believe she's already met Finn. I will introduce Saelen as part of our...
She's not Saelen.
Okay. But anyway. I shall cut to the chase. Do you know legends of a veil that hunts the sun, or anything of this? These stories of these, some call them death knights, these strange, dark, powerful beings that seem to have popped up in the last few years, or know where we might find out more about such things?
I do not. May I ask the nature of your interest in such things?
I believe it affects the interest of members of your family and of those who hold the history of your great city in high esteem. Was that appropriately vague and yet telling?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't know if it only made sense in my head.
She glances over at Koru. Koru lifts his head and says, they may be the ones he was looking for. Not sure. But you should let her know. And he drops his head back down onto his paws. She says, as she reaches over and pulls out a small silver pin in the form of a cat-like animal. And it's a civet. It's not actually a cat, but it's cat-like. And says, go speak with Salaye of Najora, of House Najora. She may know someone who knows these things. I apologize for the lack of detail. And she just sort of shrugs and says that some things are not my story to tell.
Oh, very well, and as I said, I believe you know a great deal and also know where to find that which you do not know, which is valuable as well.
Yes.
And so I think, at least for my purposes, unless someone else, I'll just finish the tea and, pleasant conversation, but for my purposes, that kind of wraps things.
Sorry, I'm fixing dinner for the 6-year-old, so I'm listening. And I don't think I have anything to add to that particular conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like Cyclone knows how to be polite, but he is not a grand conversationalist.
Fair enough. So yeah. What are you guys gonna do now?
So this is this a noble she sent us to talk to, or just a member of a noble house?
A member of a noble house, yes. She gives you directions to their townhouse in the city.
Mhm.
They're mostly a rural family.
So I think, obviously, we need to go see them. I don't know what other leads, aside from, following up with Makala. I don't see what else we have going on. But that was going to essentially be more or less the same ask. Although more in the... Now, who do you know that's down low studying this weird story that keeps popping up lately?
Would you like to ask him that then?
Uh,
Before or after the chat with the nobles?
I'd go after. I just to be completely honest, though, I feel like Cyclone isn't the one you want to have fronting the noble chat.
Oh, well.
You know what I mean? Like, also, I've done a lot this session, so...
Yeah. Jen?
Sorry, I'm cooking dinner for the kiddo.
Okay.
One of the things I'm also going to do is kind of tap into my little information network to learn more about this noble family.
Okay. Yeah, Najora is minor. They don't even have a seat in the assembly, but they're known for patronage of poets and donations to support the dancers at the temples for festivals and such. They're mostly rural, but some of them will stay in the city, and so they have a house in the city. And you can find directions to it pretty quickly.
Okay, so, interesting. So this family is known for patronage for dancers and poets and whatnot.
Yes.
Okay. Were there any periods in time where they, had a sudden, a sea change in fortune? Or have they always kind of been on the same trajectory?
They are a very old noble house, land rich, cash poor. Their city estate is well kept but unfashionable and not in a particularly prestigious location. But there's been nothing sudden.
Okay, so nothing that would be, like a sudden indication of... Are there... One thing I do want to do is maybe see about talking to folks at the temple. And I'll cheerfully, go along to chat with the noble, but I'm not entirely sure I'm the best person for that.
You have 3 dots in socialize. You're the best person for that in the party that stands now.
All right. Okay, we'll go.
As opposed to my
1.
Yes.
Although your presence is good.
Yeah.
Ed's been doing a great job so far.
And
I also feel like Cyclone just doesn't want to be seen as the face of this thing, like, on principle.
right.
You know what I mean? Like literally, he is uncomfortable with being the face of the group.
Oh, I get that. I just have to laugh because for the longest time, I always ended up being the adult supervision. And I'm like, what did I do to deserve this?
Yeah, no, I get it. And I like it. Part of it is me as a player trying to not be the voice that's there all the time.
Right. So, yeah, this family is. There's not much buzz about it. They're old. They're respectable. They're not rich. They're not political players. Not a whole lot of that.
Okay.
And so, are you guys gonna go over there?
Yeah, let's see. Although it is 7:39, is this something that we want to try and wrap up in the next 20 minutes?
You probably could.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that.
Unless a fight breaks out.
Hopefully not.
Good at not doing that.
I didn't do it this time.
Yeah.
I liked the this time.
It was a turkey leg incident.
So, like I said, there's a. Like I said, the house is well maintained, but not up to date, and not as lavish as a noble's city estate would make it sound. The doorman cheerfully takes your name, and when you ask to speak to Soleil, he says he will ask if she is receiving visitors today, and he goes in, comes back, and says, Lady Soleil will see you. What reason did you give for?
I was going to say, somebody run me through exactly what we want to talk about real quick before I get in there. Before we get in there.
But we asked Sankarai Kumba about information regarding legends of a veil that hunts the sun, and I was trying to convey that I was doing it more in that there was some legend of that concept, not as that it was a name, but also information regarding what we know as abyssals, but these death knights that have popped up in the last year. But I think our play here is to tell her that we were sent to her by this Sankarai Kumba.
You have the silver civet brooch.
Yes. That was in my head what was going on, but that was never expressed.
Yeah. So what excuse did you guys give to the servant?
Actually, before we left the bookseller, I would have asked if there was any books that the bookseller needed to send to this person, so that way we would have a pretext to talk to her.
So, you guys are brought in to the estate, taken to a room with, a low table, cushions on the ground. There is coffee being made, and also honey wine. But yeah, the coffee is served.
Okay.
And she says, so, what brings you to my home? She's, by the way, young, Galena ancestry, golden brown skin, long curling black hair, wrapped in an indigo silk scarf. Features are fine and expressive, proud nose, full lips, high cheekbones, and playful, calculating eyes. She wears a an indigo-dyed dress. No, sorry. The dress is in cream and red, embroidered fire motifs. She is elegant but not excessive. Lapis earrings, ring with a personal seal. And she seems to have... her movement is always very graceful, confident, poised. And her smile is just a little too knowing. Just a little too flirtatious to be her. So, what now? She's said, what brings you to her home? Hello?
Give me just 1 sec. I'm putting the chicken away so the dog doesn't eat it and getting the kid a macaron for after dinner. Give me just 1 sec.
Fun of real life interfering with our make-believe.
I know, right?
My wife is fond of teasing me every time I go to buy another book or something, going, why do you need more books to play pretend?
Because this is a different kind of pretend.
Exactly. But
I need someone to tell me how to play pretend.
On the surface, that is a very valid question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's someone else that's telling me how to play pretend. That's what I need.
Mm-hmm.
Duh.
Our visit is twofold. Oh, I'm so sorry. Please excuse me. I believe that we failed to introduce ourselves. I am Firamar Saelen, and these are my companions. Let me see if I can scroll here. Wonderful Cyclone and Finn. Or do you prefer to go by Cyclone?
Either way.
Okay.
Cyclone is kind of probably his general name.
Okay, then I'll just... then
Wondrous Cyclone.
Nah, that's fine. Until we need to do more, Cyclone and Finn are fine. We were told that perhaps you were the right person to talk to regarding... maybe old legends, maybe new unfriendly people that we seem to be running into.
Okay.
First I have this for you, and I'll deliver the book, or whatever it is that the bookseller gave me.
The civet pin.
Yes, the civet pin.
She looks it over and says, "And who was it that gave you?"
I need the name of the name of the bookseller.
Ngare Kumba.
Yes.
So, if you were looking for old legends, you wouldn't have them. You were looking for something very specific. Please, dispense with the misdirection.
Very well. We're looking for information on, I believe they're referred to as death lords, death knights.
Mm-hmm.
And one in particular called the Veil. And I'm sorry, the Veil what?
The veil that hunts
the veil that hunts the sun.
And she smiles like a predator and says, "Oh, you are looking for something better."
Looking for something what?
The very end of that.
Oh, you are looking for something very specific. Might I ask where you encountered this title?
Cyclone, did you bring the note?
I might have. Probably, in all honesty. Although I don't think he would produce it. I think he would just say, I've received a message with that name attached to it, and... player interlude here. Did we actually get somewhere that name was given to us in that encounter a while back?
Yes.
Yeah.
And physically, I also encountered a being that referred to itself as such not terribly long ago.
Well, if you had an encounter with him and are still standing, That tells me that you're a little bit more than you appear to.
Appearances are appearances, are they not? And kind of reflect that smile that she's given us, like in that, a predator knows a predator sort of context.
She shrugs and says, appearances are like masks, costumes. I would dearly to know what would dearly love to know what is under your map.
Okay, I'm gonna do a quick read intentions. Give me a sec. Alright, 6 successes.
To do what?
When she says that she would be curious to see what's behind our masks, I'm trying... Catherine, stop trying to stuff the cat in the box.
Let's go.
I'm basically, when she says that she would be curious to see behind the masks, what is that, like, referring to? Like...
Okay. Well, here's the thing. You're not sure. You have no idea. Because her guile is higher than that.
Oh, that's what I thought.
What?
Oh, yeah, this is just some mortal noble.
Yeah, I was gathering that from the posture, but that was, Steve may be reading things in that the character might not know. I don't know how that works.
She just sort of smiles serenely. Says, "You're foreigners, all from different lands, in a land that none of you are from, stalking something that shouldn't exist." As she cocks her head slightly. "I wonder, did you all meet under the sun?"
Yes.
Well, then perhaps we have much to offer each other.
Oh?
So she's got dark makeup around her eyes, or at least that's what it looks like originally. Like somebody had gone absolutely nuts with coal.
Oh shit, okay.
Okay.
But
then you realize it's not just makeup.
Does she have tattoos?
You can see tattoos now. Yeah.
Oh.
Luminous silver tattoo. And she says, "I am Tene Kel Orunfe, called Jenefaraba Siraluma and Tene Moonlight." And that's where we're gonna end it.
Ooh.
You asshole! Seriously?
It's 8 o'clock, woman.
Seriously? You're gonna end it on that?
Don't edit that part out.
Intro and outro music by the band 12 Noon. You can email us at meandsteverpg@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter and RPGs. Find us on Facebook at Me and Steve RPG Podcast, on Discord at Me and Steve RPGs, and as always, all of these links are in the show notes. Thank you, and be kind to one another.
cigar?
Cigar, $20, dog. You gotta go down the street to the store and buy that.
What? Push the button.
I did. I'm pushing the button. Can you hear me?
Okay, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna do a quick read intentions. Give me a sec.
I think that's gonna be funny to edit that later.
Yeah, push the button.
That's going to get clipped and put in like 10 seconds after the outro at some point.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I am pushing the button. Okay, hang on.